हैप्पी वुमेंस डे एवरीवन। मैं हूं अंकिता कौशल और आज हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं बिजनेस विमेंस के बारे में। और आज कुछ स्पेशल है क्योंकि आज मैंने इनवाइट किया है एक इंस्पायरिंग बिजनेस वुमेन को अपने चैनल पे, जो कि शेयर करेंगे हमारे साथ अपने बिजनेस सीक्रेट्स एंड ऑल अबाउट इंडियन वर्किंग वुमेन। हाय, मेरा नाम है अंकिता कौशल और मैं बिजनेस ओनर्स की मदद करती हूँ अपने बिजनेस को ऑनलाइन डेवलप और ग्रो करने की। तो अगर आप भी अपने बिजनेस को ऑनलाइन सेटअप या ग्रो करना चाहते हैं तो डू सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल एंड प्रेस द बेल आइकन बिकॉज वी हैव सम रियली गुड एंड इंस्पायरिंग कोचेस coming up on the channel, so you don't want to miss any of those videos. So welcome to the channel, Kanika. I am very excited to have you back and a very happy Women's Day to you.
Same to you, Ankita. Very happy Women's Day.
So I want to introducing you to my audience, and I wanted everyone to know how motivating and inspiring you are because of everything that you handle. I mean, you have family, you have kids, and so you have like your work going on, and then you have your business, your new business that you're doing, that is going on, and then you're writing all these books so fast. So I think you're a superwoman. So what are your thoughts on women empowerment?
Okay, women empowerment, we tend to believe that it's somebody who will do things to empower us. We believe that it's like a government making girls' education compulsory or free, or job reservations or loan subsidies. We generally tend to think, okay, these are the things that empower women. But my thought on women empowerment is that it begins from within. Okay, unless you feel sure of yourself, unless you are confident about yourself, unless you know where to say no, then nobody can do anything for you. You can keep on getting all kinds of support from outside, but unless you are sure of what you are doing, you know how to go about things. So it all begins with accepting yourself and building your inner path, rather than expecting outsiders, the society, the people to change and things to change around you so that you are empowered. That's my belief about
Yeah,
women.
we sometimes, women are not very confident, when to speak up, basically, or to say no, and they just keep doing it, and then they just end up feeling not happy. And if you are not happy, you cannot keep anyone else happy. Have you seen any kind of domestic violence around you? And is it common since you have more experience than me? That's how I would put it.
Violence we usually come across in the lower strata of society. I have mostly heard, maids and I mean, such people. We tend to believe that it happens only in such families, but I was surprised, in fact, shocked, I would say, to hear that it happens even in educated families. And usually, again, women just tolerate it and go on with it. But there are very few who actually take it up and they want to take some action about it. Sometimes I think it also depends on the situation. I'm not trying to justify that domestic violence is justified, but it could happen that it could be just a momentary reaction of the person. Maybe he is not that way, but that you will know only depending on how long you've lived with the person, or through observation a little later.
Like it can happen between brothers and sisters, or maybe two friends. Kind of thing. I don't support it anyway, honestly, but so many people don't know that domestic violence is not only beating or just physical abuse. It's also about emotional abuse. If someone even threatens you, it's not even just the husband. It could be anyone. Whether they're just abusing you, using wrong language, or sexual abuse. All those things are a part of domestic violence, and so many people are not aware of it, that the government has all these laws to support women, but so many women are not aware of it and they just keep taking it. I mean, it's good to forgive, it's good to be tolerant and patient, but you should know when it's time to speak up for yourself.
As I said, that unless you are strong enough, nobody can do. Like government can set up the women's cell and offer you all kinds of support, but finally it comes down to you. You are the one. The woman is the one who has to take
Yeah,
action. She
yeah. Sometimes it's not about yourself also. Have you seen it? Like a woman probably doesn't like certain behavior, and then she
Yeah.
wants to complain maybe to the parents, but she's just treated as if she's just overreacting over something. So they don't even consider it that it's a valid request, that you would not like to be handled in such a way. What do you think? Society, does it help empowering women, or does it really drown the women and drag into it?
See, as I said, that women empowerment begins with the self, but then when a girl is a baby, right, she cannot empower herself. The first place where the empowerment begins is the home. It's how the parents treat a girl child, how they bring her up, how they support her, and how they trust her. They stand up for her. So when they give her that kind of support, then she automatically develops that self-confidence, self-esteem. Many times it so happens that parents given to what you call the whims of the society says your girl should behave this way, that way, even though the parents may themselves not agree with it. But what will people say? It's educated parents who should take the first step. Parents, if they start empowering their girl child, that's the biggest step, because that's how she sees the world. When she comes into the world, it's the parents who are taking care of her. So it's if you are going to distinguish between, I mean, differentiate your treatment towards your son and your daughter, definitely you're not empowering your child in any way. And again, it is the job of the parents to stand up for her when she needs support, wherever it is. As you're saying, in cases of domestic violence, any other kind of thing, it is the duty of the parents. And when they treat her that way, that's how she will develop her confidence, and she will be able to face the world better. So yeah. So now, what is the society? Okay, society is you and me. It's we who constitute the society. So
Yeah.
if the society has to change, that change has to come from you, people around you. We think if one individual changes, nothing, it's not going to make a big difference. But you will see, if you empower yourself, people around you will automatically. And as I said about the girl child, now as a mother, if you are strong, if you empower your daughter, then you have already made a difference. Now, other than this, it's also not just empowering the daughters, you also have to grow your sons, right? I mean, you have to teach them certain things. You
Yeah,
have
I
to teach
think
them to
what the
respect.
best I think mothers can do. This is what I think. I know you have more experience, but I think what they should do instead is just be the example, because that's how kids learn. So if you would speak up for yourself, you're just speaking up for your daughters, because that means that they will be learning the behavior. That's what I did, because I saw my mom, because she was in a different generation, and it was quite common for people to behave that way, at that time. But she spoke up for herself, and that taught me that I have to speak up for myself when I want to have the certain kind of behavior is accepted, and certain kind of behavior is not accepted. So um, I think for mothers, it's very important that they just set the example instead of just talking.
No, that's very true, because many things kids pick up by just looking at you, as at the parents. We don't even realize, but some habits they just pick up automatically, and it's very important how the mother, what kind of example she sets, what kind of a role model she is. You have like the previous generation to mine. Okay, my mother's generation. Most women have would lead what I would call a doormat life. They're just trying to make everyone happy, pleasing everyone. That's their priority. They are not Their needs, their happiness is something secondary. It just doesn't matter. You have to make everyone happy. Now, people of my generation have automatically inherited these qualities from our mothers. So I have friends, I've got such a severe backache, and doctors advise me bed rest. But then, how will my husband manage? How will my kids manage? Husbands will be telling them to take rest, but they will be the ones jumping into the kitchen and trying to, let me just do this one. So that is something, it is again the role model, the mother. They have not told us to do these things, but we have just seen them, and we have grown up to be what our mothers were. So what you said just now about the mother being the role model, it's very important. And even this is as far as the daughters are concerned. Now, even with the sons, what happens is most Indian mothers, I would say, tend to pamper their sons. They do everything for them. And then those boys, when they grow up, they learn to treat their wives that way, because they're so
Yeah.
used to having their mothers serving them all the time.
Yeah.
So you have to, even with your sons, you have to stand up for yourself. You are not going to be a doormat. You're
That's
not going.
that is the place I think where fathers have a role to play as well. Because if they show their sons that that this is how I behave with your mother, and this is how behave, yeah, you should behave with the lady. That is, a good way of setting an example. That's how we can improve the society, where mother and father are just being examples for the kids, boy and the girl, so that they can learn the behavior. So it's just not again the whole duty of the mother to just yeah. So it's not just the mother again. It's a like a combined duty.
Yes. Then again, mother, in case of mother, I would say why I'm repeatedly saying the woman, the mother, because as a wife, okay, you're talking about how the father, what kind of example the father sets.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
again is dependent on the kind of husband he is.
yeah,
Okay. Now, if he has to, respect you as a wife, you have to again stand up for yourself. And only when he treats you, children come later. It's
yeah.
about how he treats you. And that again depends on you.
Mhm.
If you are going to slave around, if you're going to, treat him like a god, he will get used to it, and he will treat you the kind of treatment you've asked for, basically. And
Yeah,
if he treats you that way, children will grow up seeing that. So the daughters will become that kind, trying to pamper their husbands or whatever men they come across. And sons become, the pampered lot that we have to treat. So again, I would say that you have to be conscious of what you're doing and what kind of treatment you're putting up with, whether it's your husband, whether it's your in-laws, even parents. Sometimes, even your parents can try to dominate and treat you, okay, you're a girl, so that kind of thing. So it is again the role model, the mother. They have not told us to do these things, but we have just seen them, and we have grown up to be what our mothers were. So what you said just now about the mother being the role model, it's very important. And even this is as far as the daughters are concerned. Now, even with the sons, what happens is most Indian mothers, I would say, tend to pamper their sons. They do everything for them. And then those boys, when they grow up, they learn to treat their wives that way, because they're so
yeah,
used to having their mothers serving them all the time.
yeah.
So you have to, even with your sons, you have to stand up for yourself. You are not going to be a doormat. You're
That's
not going.
that is the place I think where fathers have a role to play as well. Because if they is another thing I found, that women abuses sometimes the rules which are built to protect them. Some women use these kind of rules and these kind of privileges to abuse and to do things that they should not be doing. Have you seen something like this?
Yes, I have. They try to manipulate, they try to use all these rules to their advantage. I have come across somebody years ago who tried to show that she was being discriminated just so that she would be given a promotion or something like that,
Yeah.
she tried to show that on grounds of being a lady, she was being denied something, though she was not deserving of the post. So she tried to use that. So these are the kind of things, yes, women do. People who need to use it are the ones who keep quiet and they don't use it. And there are smarter ones who try to manipulate it to their
So it
advantage.
is like my humble request to women: so don't abuse these rules, because you just these rules are created to protect you and me and people like us. And then when you just go ahead and abuse these rules, what you do is you just make it difficult for the people who are genuine, because when they have a real problem, they're just suspected. And in all of the situation, men are frustrated and they're like, why do women get to have all these privileges? And there is domestic violence going against men also. This is all crazy, and we are given all these rules and privileges so that we can educate and we can grow and we can help grow the economy, like yourself, like you're doing, and like I am trying to do. So moving on to your books. So I wanted to know, so you're just being a superwoman now, and I remember you last time when we spoke, I told you about that I'm writing a book and I'm still writing the book. And then you've done like 4 books. Like,
Actually, first of all, because of content writing, I think I have an advantage because where I was working, the company, we were required to do 2,500 words a day. Not me, my team, because I was the team lead, I had other responsibilities. But yeah, approximately 2,500 we had to do every day for 5 days a week. And in my case, it so happens that whatever books I write, they are close to my heart. I'm talking about my experiences, my life. Like the first one was a lockdown story. That was whatever I went through during the lockdown. So for me, it is just talking about myself that becomes very easy. So and then I already have the speed. And usually it happens when I write my books, I lose track of everything. I don't feel like eating, I don't feel like sleeping, I just want to keep on
yeah,
writing.
I
So
get it. I get it. Wow, that's a good one. So you've just started after lockdown, I think. So as
yeah.
an author, so that was your first book. So in 1 year, in the lockdown, you've made a lot of progress. Now you're 4 books old. So tell us about your journey and how's it been, and what's next coming up.
Okay, so the first book I told you was about the lockdown, and the second book I started as a blog. Okay, it was for Medium because I like writing these self help topics and stuff. So I started with a topic on stress, and as I went on writing, it just kept growing. I didn't know where to stop. So then I thought, okay, this is a good idea for a book. So then I converted it into a book that is likely to be no, that has released in February. That's available in February. That I went with a publisher. In the meantime, Kindle sent me an email about a book writing contest on for self-published books on Kindle, and for that there were 2 categories. One was book less than 10,000 words, and the other one was over 10,000 words. So my next book, which is titled "Gift Yourself a Smile," it was because of this competition. And in December, I just wrote it because at the time of Christmas, somehow I was in a very excited mood, and I was thinking about gifting and stuff. So I thought, why not talk about gifting yourself a smile and making your
Yeah,
life cheerful? So that
yeah.
was the theme, and that was my entry for the short book. And then I had this one in mind about writing about women, Indian women, because For me, when we think of a woman, I mean, a great woman or an extraordinary woman, we think of so many things, that she should be a CEO in a company, or heading up maybe a prime minister, president. But for me, if I look at the life of an Indian woman, we go through so much, and we are judged at each stage, and we are doing so many things. We are trying to do so many things, trying to keep so many people happy, that I feel every Indian woman is doing an incredible job. And that's why I wanted to write something about women. And especially, I have found many women who, if they are not working, they tend to look down on themselves, and they feel that they're not worthwhile. They feel, because we've learned to associate success and greatness with money. If you're making money, you're fine. I mean, you are a great woman. But for me, every housewife, every woman in India, whether she's working or not, the number of things she's doing, the number of things she's taking care of, that makes her extraordinary. And this is what I wanted to bring about in my book, which is just published. It's called A Typical Tale of a Typical Indian Woman. So it's about the kind of emotions she goes through, the kind of situations she faces. And then many times we just give up. We think that, okay, this is our fate, this is how life is supposed to be. But I want to here tell them that you have to first realize that you're doing a lot, you're worth a lot. Recognize your worth. First, feel good about yourself. People around you will feel good about you.
I think housewives are not appreciated as much, and the reason is because they're just taken for granted, because it's just considered that the job is easy. So I'm not a housewife, so honestly, I do not know if it is easy, but I'm just managing both. So I just find it difficult. But I have help. It's really big responsibility, especially raising kids, because you have lives in your hands and you could be directing them to anything.
Who, if they're not working, they tend to, look down on themselves, and they feel that they're not worthwhile. They feel, because we've learned to associate success and greatness with money. If you're making money, you're fine. I mean, you are a great woman. But for me, every housewife, every woman in India, whether she's working or not, the number of things she's doing, the number of things she's taking care of, that makes her extraordinary. And this is what I wanted to bring about in my book, which is just published. It's called A Typical Tale of a Typical Indian Woman. If a housewife just lists down whatever she's doing and puts a money value to it, she's earning more than what she could be earning. It's just that it's an unpaid job that she's doing.
I totally agree with this one, but this is why I feel that she should do this, but they don't do. And what happens is, then they don't do it, and then they feel bad for themselves that I'm not doing it and I'm not earning it, and I'm just probably not good, and they don't feel confident enough.
Earning does not solve any problem, because
I agree.
People are going to judge you, by the amount of money you make. Then you can keep on feeling low about yourself. It's again, as I said, it's about your self-worth. Whatever you are doing, take pride in what you're doing. Feel good about what you're doing. When you talk about, children or your husband, he has to respect you for what you're doing. Even if you're not working, you're supporting him. I mean, if he's having a great career with you as a housewife, he's having it only because you are there to take care. He doesn't have to take any.
It is a sacrifice, basically, they're making. Because they're sacrificing their own dreams, because sometimes they have dreams, and they're like, I would sacrifice it for maybe my kids, and maybe I would delay it. Sometimes women just stop working, even if they want to, because they have kids and they want to, choose now, and they sacrifice on their dreams that they always had. And so this is what I feel that many women do. They sacrifice on their dream, and they end up having no appreciation for it.
Yes, that's true. And that is something that I felt myself. Okay. Because for a very long time. Okay. I felt that when I gave up my career, I worked for 7 years. And then when I gave up my career, for quite some time, I would feel, and when I would look at other girls, who were maybe my classmates or whatever, doing very well in their careers, that time I would definitely feel very bad. But today, when I look back and I look at my kids and the way they've grown and the way they are performing and doing well for themselves, then I have no regrets. Today's generation is very fortunate that you have this work from home and online
Yeah.
working and working options, so you can do both.
Yeah.
You can take care
Yeah, so
of your
that's what I'm
kids
talking
and
about.
you can.
That's what I'm talking about. That they should take this opportunity to first of all work for the family, because things happen, and it could happen that maybe husband is not able to earn. Things
Yeah.
happen. You want to be, financially secure, and then divorce happen, and you might want the custody of your kids, so you want to be earning also, and it just really empowers you a lot, I think, if they keep doing it. But then again, it's a choice. If you want to, not do it for some reason, it is totally a choice. But so now that we have this opportunity, you don't have to just, only raise kids or only work. You can do both from home, at the same time.
I would say that, earning and being financially independent gives you a lot of confidence. And this is what I've been talking about, empowerment and stuff that, many times when you earn something, you feel so good about yourself. You feel that, yes, I'm able to do this. I'm capable of this also. So
Yeah.
that definitely helps in many cases. But what I would still say is that, if you live a life of your choice, if you have the, good fortune that you can make your
Yeah.
choices, you can do what you want, choose a career that you are passionate about. First thing is self care, whether it's physical, emotional, mental. Take care of yourself, and then, take care of all your responsibilities. You will be much better equipped. You don't take care of your health, you will have problems in taking care of all your responsibilities.
So basically, if you are happy, that's only when you can make others happy. If you're not
True.
happy, no matter how hard you try, you'll be creating a mess around.
Yes, true.
So that would be our message to, women's on Women's Day. And I want to, give a special thanks to men, because this is what I think, that men and boys always have this pressure on their shoulder, when they grow up, and when they're in college, they always have this show up that they don't have a choice. Women
True.
always have a choice. They can choose to be working, they can choose not to be working, but men are not given this choice. They don't have the choice to not work. At least, as far as I know, in India, you don't have the choice not to work. So women always get this choice because there is someone who's just having the solid, foundation for the family. So, the man is working, and then you can choose whatever you want to do. If you want to write blog, you can write blog, because, at the end of the day, the breadwinner is doing the work. So I really want to, thank all the men, because in the society, women gets their place now, because the men have been very supportive. Do you agree with?
Yeah. And here I would like to mention, one of my college classmates. He has set up a business. His wife takes care of the business, and I think he spent a major. I'm not very much in touch with him, but he spent quite a bit of time at home with his kids. So we have such men also in the society.
Yeah, and I think I would, encourage women to be empowered and give your husbands the choice also. So if they choose not to work, or maybe follow their passion, maybe they're a guitarist, and they want to pursue a YouTube channel where they make music, then let them have that choice if you can. So just try to empower them also in this way, so that we can all have choice, because it will be unfair that women gets to choose and choose whether they want to be just be a housewife or want to pursue their career. Men should have the choice too. Yeah, I know it sounds strange and difficult to digest, but it's just unfair.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, if we are talking about changing the society, these are the changes. These are the changes that the society needs. In
Yeah.
fact, according to me, a mother's role initially is very important because you need that physical proximity with the baby. But once that stage is over, I believe that both husband and wife, both the parents, have an equal role in the development of the child. And if, in an ideal situation, if both participate in taking care of the kids at home, then it becomes easier for both of them to focus on their careers. If you're
Yeah.
sharing the responsibilities, which does not happen, because it always boils down to, even if the woman is working, it's her job to take the
I
kids for
think
tuition.
even so, when a woman conceives, she has to, stay home for some time, maybe. I don't know, but the body is probably not able to. So I think that gets stretched because then just out of touch, and then some of them don't want to come back. Some of them get attached, and just something like that happens, and then it just gets stretched, and it just never happens. And then everything is like, okay, now you're doing it, then do it. And yeah, it was nice chatting with you. And guys, I'm gonna have the link to download the book. Monica has been very generous, and she's giving the free download to to my audience and to you guys. So you can download the book from 8th March to 10th March for free, and the link to download will be below. And if you miss the dates, you can also purchase the book from Amazon, from Kindle, and I'll have the link to the book as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Ankita. It was great talking to you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so
And happy
much.
Women's Day once again to all the listeners.
Yeah. So happy Women's Day, everyone. See you next time. If you like this video, don't forget to press the bell icon, subscribe to the channel, and like. Or if you have any questions or concerns, guys, do leave the comment below, because I'm always here to help you guys. Until next time, this is Ankita Ghoshal signing off.